first edition of Monday Night Mashup. I'm Andrea Esselman.
And I'm Emily Fitzpatrick.
And we're bringing you the latest news. This past Thursday, Student Health Services sponsored the Stalker Awareness Fair in the Russell House Ballroom. The Stalker Awareness Fair provided information to students and faculty concerning how to identify stalking, how to combat stalking, and how to protect against other dangers, such as identity theft. There were many organizations present, including the Richland County Sheriff's Department, the USC PD, Stand Up Carolina, and the University Information and Security Office. Each organization had tools and information at their tables to educate students and faculty about stalking and identity theft. Representatives were also available to answer questions.
A stalker is going to be someone who, from my perspective, and not looking at the statutory definition, is someone who, in whatever way, whether by their presence, through their communications, letters, telephone, whatever, they make you feel uncomfortable. And you feel that their attention to you is not asked for, it's not warranted, and you feel that it's inappropriate.
SGTV will be back after these messages. There was a tragedy at the University of South Carolina this past week. Senior political science student at the University of South Carolina, Chase Lovelace, passed away Wednesday night. According to Richland County Coroner Gary Watts, there are currently no suspects involved in Lovelace's death. Coroner reports have led police to believe that there were no third parties present at the time of young Chase's passing. President Pastides has stressed the importance of remembering the fragile nature of our own lives, and remind students, faculty, and the Columbia community to take care of themselves and each other as best as they can. Be sure to keep the family of Chase Lovelace in mind as you move forward with your week. We'll have a look at national news after the break. Stay tuned.
Put your bypass with the bag over your head. Put your bypass on away from the end.
Tragedy struck Maryland Saturday after a shooting in the mall in Columbia. 3 were killed, including the identified shooter Darian Marcus Aguilar. Police are now trying to find a connection between Aguilar and the 2 victims, Brianna Benlolo and Tyler Johnson, both of whom worked in the store Zoomies and live in the College Park area. In addition to the 2 victims, there were several minor injuries as customers looked for a safe place to hide, including a victim who was shot in the foot. Those who barricaded themselves in employee storerooms had to wait more than an hour before they could exit the mall. The mall in Columbia is scheduled to reopen on Tuesday with increased police presence. Be sure to bring an extra 3 cents with you when taking a trip to the mail center. The cost of a first-class postage stamp is now 49 cents, a rise from last year's 46-cent price. The raise has been attributed to the $5 billion loss by the United States Postal Service in 2013. USPS has been pushing for Congress to allow them to end Saturday deliveries and to reduce health benefits for retirees. In honor of the Super Bowl next Sunday, fans everywhere are sporting their team's gear. At Kimball Elementary in Seattle, however, 63% of students are low income. The kids' dreams of having their own jerseys became reality thanks to a generous teacher and his perseverance. Kevin Zelko, the special education resource instructor at Kimball, sells beer at Seahawks games to supplement his income. With additional tips in the playoffs, Zelko decided to give back to the students and bought some of them jerseys. After starting a crowdfunding campaign, he was able to get $250,000 in 12 days. Zelko had enough money to get a shirt for every student, all 470 of them. One student, Kadist Habti, was proud of her teacher and school, saying that the community effect is what mattered most. Habti felt that Kimball had come together as one big family. Government data shows that working-age people are the majority of households that rely on food stamps. In the past, the elderly and children were the main beneficiaries. It is reported that the food stamp program currently covers 1 in 7 Americans. Food stamp participation has grown mainly in workers with some college training. The program is now stretching to what used to be middle class. We'll be right back with Andrea Esselman and the latest world news after this.
This is your 90.5 seconds. This is your 90.5 seconds. This is your 90.5 seconds of the news. Today is September 3rd, September 16th, September 25th. It will be mostly cloudy, partly sunny, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 10 a.m. There are over 100 freshmen, over 10%. Only 82, more than 150 people were ejected from Williams-Brice Stadium. South Carolina is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the school's desegregation. A USC student is charged with filing a false police report and false swearing. Tuesday night, the City Council held a meeting to the public to discuss its controversial efforts to deal with Columbia's homeless. Harris Pastides will give his State of the University address tomorrow as he begins his 6th year as university president. The women's soccer team, the men's tennis team, the USC women's golf team, the men's soccer team, the women's equestrian team begins competition today as they take on Kansas State. A new movie is providing audience members with a different perspective of a popular British boy band. Read all about One Direction, This Is Us, as well as all of the full news and sports stories. Find exclusive videos and even more at dailygamecock.com. Jeremy Urso, 90.5 seconds of the news.
In worldwide news, the United States military conducted a missile strike on Sunday in the country of Somalia. The strike was directed at an alleged militant leader who is believed to be connected with the infamous terror organization Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab. U.S. military and intelligence officials are currently analyzing a bomb damage assessment to find out whether or not the terror leader was injured or killed in the missile strike, according to NBC News. These officials have yet to provide the name of the target. In other news, a coffin holding assassinated protester Mikhail Linevsky was carried through the streets of Kiev as the political crisis in Ukraine ensues. The police got involved as the protesters carrying 25-year-old Zinevsky's body swarmed the streets of the capital, chanting "Hero" and singing the national anthem. Mikhail is one of 3 protesters who died on Wednesday, as well, and the 2-month political crisis took a violent turn. As she wept, 25-year-old Nina Uvarov told the Associated Press, "He could have been my fiancé, but he died defending my future so that I will live in a different Ukraine." After the break, Tan Vo will have your weather report.
Hello everyone, my name is Tanvo and we are back here with weather on SGTV News 4. Although the weather has been very cold as of late, expect this week to have more unpredictable weather with temperatures going up and down like a roller coaster. We had a nice cool day today as Gamecocks got to walk around campus without their jackets on. However, temperatures will be dropping drastically into the low 30s as we move into the night. On Tuesday, there is a 100% chance of wintry mix, so get out your lucky quarter, flip that coin, and hope that classes will be canceled. Nevertheless, there is also a chance the mix of rain and snow could create some ice on the road, so be careful if you are commuting. If you and your friends are planning on making a snowman, you might be disappointed, as Thursday's sunshine is in the mid-40s should melt most of that snow away. To wrap up the week, students will be happy as temperatures will rocket into the upper 50s and lower 60s as it will be mostly sunny for the weekend. It should be a nice Super Bowl weekend as students hang out with their buddies watching the big game. However, our friends in the East Rutherford area will be treated to a different set of weather during Sunday's big event. There is a 30% chance of a mix of rain and snow with temperatures in the mid-30s, creating an interesting atmosphere for both the fans and the players. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says that he is considering moving the Super Bowl to Saturday if the weather conditions are too severe. If this occurs, then the UFC will move its Saturday pay-per-view event to Sunday night. Regardless of the outcome of the game, this will be a Super Bowl to remember. That's it for this week in weather. Please stay tuned as we will be right back with Danielle Barilla with sports.
Hello, and welcome back to Monday Night Mashup on SGTV Campus Channel 4. My name is Danielle Barilla, and this is your weekly Gamecock Sports Update. This past Saturday, the men's basketball team fell to the Missouri Tigers 82-74 at Mizzou Arena. At the half, the Gamecocks trailed the Tigers 38-22 and were unable to make a comeback. This gives the Gamecocks a record of 7-12 overall and 0-6 in the conference. The women's basketball team took on Vanderbilt this past Sunday in Nashville, Tennessee. The game was tied until Tiffany Mitchell scored off a steal with only 9 seconds remaining, making the end of the game especially exciting. The Gamecocks led for most of the game, but the Commodores managed to tie it up twice in the final 3 minutes. The Lady Gamecocks still managed to come out on top. South Carolina shot 54% from the field, while Tiffany Mitchell led the team, scoring 14 points, with Alicia Welsh and Aline Ebom following with 10 points each. Tiffany Mitchell also swiped 4 steals for the Gamecocks, and the team only allowed Vanderbilt to shoot 37.3% from the field. This Thursday, January 30th, the Lady Gamecocks will be taking on the Ole Miss Rebels at Colonial Life Arena at 7 p.m. This past Saturday, the Gamecock swim and dive team defeated Queen's University and Wingate University at the Carolina Natatorium here in Columbia. The men defeated Wingate 187-130 and Queen's 176-141. The women won 182-130 over Wingate and 172-136 over Queen's. The Gamecocks had the top times in all 8 relays throughout the weekend. The South Carolina swim and dive teams will be back in the pool next weekend as they are headed to Auburn on February 1st for their final meet before the SEC Championship. The 18th ranked men's tennis team rallied this weekend in the first match of the ITA kickoff hosted by Mississippi State. The Gamecocks lost their first match to number 21 ranked Memphis 4-2. However, they went on to play number 26 Harvard and won their match 4-0. They will play again this Friday at Georgia Tech, January 31st, and they will then return to Columbia for a doubleheader on Sunday, February 2nd. On January 18th, the women's tennis team opened their season with home wins against East Tennessee State and the College of Charleston, where they won
4-3 and 6-1 respectively. This coming Tuesday, January 28th, the Lady Gamecocks will be taking on Furman here in Columbia at 4 o'clock. T-minus 17 days until Gamecock baseball. The baseball team will start their season on Valentine's Day, Friday, February 14th. SGTV News 4 and SGTV's Capital City Sports will be the on-campus home to any and all Gamecock baseball news, This past Friday, Coach Holbrook held a preseason press conference where he spoke on entering his second season as the head coach, as well as touching on the topic of Joey Pancake's position. Coach Holbrook says his heart is racing, but at a much slower pace than last year. He commented on how lucky he is to be coaching a team that works so hard in the offseason and are so anxious to get back on the field. When asked about Joey Pancake, Coach Holbrook said if they play today, Joey Pancake would play third base. Pancake was hoping to find himself on the pitcher's mound this season, but that all changed when he suffered from an elbow strain in the fall. Outside of college athletics, it's a big week in the world of professional sports. We are less than a week away from the biggest football game of the year. The Super Bowl is next Sunday, February 2nd at 6:30 p.m. Although you may think the Super Bowl is in Omaha based on the NFC Championship last weekend, the game will actually be played in East Rutherford, New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. Both the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks have definitely earned their spot in this year's championship. Peyton Manning has had an incredible season, breaking multiple NFL single-season records, including but not limited to most touchdown passes, most passing yards, most points in a season, and the most 50-point games in a season. If Peyton Manning wins this Super Bowl, he will be the first starting quarterback in history to win Super Bowl titles with two separate teams. Although the Seattle Seahawks should not be underestimated, the Seahawks have the top-ranked defense going into this game, led by the outspoken Richard Sherman. However, the Seahawks have no players with any championship experience, and their head coach has no Super Bowl experience either. When looking at the Broncos and the Seahawks, we see the Broncos are a team full of experience, while the Seahawks are a team of very youthful players. It is expected to be a close game, with the Broncos favored to win by only 2 points. That's all we have for you in your weekly Gamecock Sports. For more sports news, tune into Capital City Sports at 8 o'clock p.m. on Thursday evenings on Campus Channel 4, or check out their YouTube channel. Please stay tuned for more Monday Night Mashup here on SGTV Campus Channel 4. My name is Danielle Barilla. Have a great evening.
Don't panic. Push your bypass with the bag over your head. Push your bypass on away from the end.
And we have a feel-good story for you before we leave for tonight. It turns out that there are some things that a dog can do better than its owner.
That's right. According to USA Today, a heartwarming Australian Shepherd named Blakely was adopted by the Cincinnati Zoo to help raise baby animals. Currently, the friendly canine is teaching an ocelot kitten named Santos how to play. The two have played with tennis balls as well as squeaky toys during this past week. One of Blakely's purposes is to tame other animals so that they will not become too aggressive. And that's our feel-good story for today.
And this just in, we have heard that we have a snow day tomorrow, so that means classes are canceled. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That is so exciting.
I'll be sleeping in, and will you be sleeping in tomorrow?
Yes, I will.
All right, so everyone enjoy your snow day tomorrow, and that's all for our Monday night mashup. Have a good night and stay classy, USC.